And again, thanks for coming out. If you guys are Hillary supporters or you're interested in Hillary, we have some literature on all the tables here, and I'd love you to fill out a supporter card if you think you're going to caucus for us at 7 o'clock on January 3rd. But otherwise, I'll give it over to Mayor Newsom, and thanks again.
Thank you. San Francisco Mayor, you expected, I'm sure. This is strange. What the heck is he doing here? I literally got off the plane and someone said, "Who are you?" And I said, why do you even ask? You go, "You look like a politician." I said, "I don't even know." I said, "Oh my God, seriously, this is the first thing he said, we're sick of politicians." How friendly Iowa is. Anyway, I think he was from Chicago. I'm not sure he was from Chicago. But so let me apologize in advance in some respects, but let me thank you as well for no other reason than for taking the time to be here and for caring and giving an arm about this race. I don't think there's ever been an election where a politician didn't say that this is the most important election of our lifetime. It seems like every 4 years, everybody says the same thing. And then periodically, it happens to be the case. And I am absolutely convinced, certainly in my lifetime, that this is the most important election. I could not imagine another 4 years along the path that we've been walking down. I could not imagine 4 more years of these failed policies, both domestically and our foreign endeavors. And so this race is so critical. It's so important. I, in turn, am taking it very seriously, like you're taking it very seriously out on the West Coast. I just got through my own election, or re-election, and survived it, and so I'm quite familiar with these type of gatherings and this type of setting. And it does make me feel at home because that's San Francisco politics. And anyone who's focused on San Francisco politics knows it's very similar to what happens here every 4 years in this extraordinary state with these type of caucuses and these small get-togethers like you. And in San Francisco, I ran, it was a modest campaign with only 11 people that ran against me this time. I had 26 before. And people want to see you sweat. And they want to know that you have the goods. And good enough never is. And even if you were elected, doesn't mean they're going to necessarily re-elect you. So I appreciate the seriousness to which you commit yourself to the cause of making the right decision. Because I got to tell you, your influence is extraordinary. It is remarkable. And so I count on you. And that's why I'm here, hoping you make the right choice. Because I don't want to dream of regretting. And I don't want to enter into the general election going coulda, shoulda, woulda. Pick the right person. I, as a consequence of that, have had the privilege of having every single candidate for president come through my office. They didn't want my endorsement. They just wanted my fundraising list. And San Francisco, in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, the Googles and the Yahoos and the eBays and everybody else, they're always coming in trying to suck up to raise money. I kid you not, no exaggeration. There was one gigantic exception. Maybe she's just smart. And maybe just knew that people like me are used to folks like her coming in asking for money. And she came in and started asking questions about what priorities were for the city, the challenges we were having when we were discussing the idea of becoming the first city in the United States of America to do universal health care, to talk about our progress on universal preschool. And we are the only big city in the United States that we know of doing universal preschool and guaranteed college education for every single one of our students, K through 12. And there was sincerity in her interest. There was a discussion. And there was, for me, a profound depth of knowledge. And that blew me away, candidly. I kid you not, every other, and I'm a Democrat, so I love Joe Biden. I like Obama. I like Evans. Got to know him very well in the last campaign. Did at least a dozen fundraisers out in San Francisco, hosted for him. And I honestly don't exaggerate. But this was altogether different experience for me. And so that made it an easy choice. And I made that choice. And, you know, San Francisco is a very progressive city. And not everyone agreed with that decision. But I'm firm in it, and I'm proud of it. And I can say that. You know, it's hard often to say, because it's usually the lesser of all evils. In this case, I'm proud of that decision. And every time I see her in action, every time she's out, and she's out a lot, I'm more and more impressed by that depth of knowledge. And so when we talk, all those talking points about strength and experience, I'm not going to bore you all that, but to me it's real. And it's not manufactured. There's a there. There's a substance there. And when you elect a president, at the end of the day, you can have the fanciest plan. Who planned better than this on healthcare or education, the environment, energy independence? For me, a plan is just a piece of paper with some writing on it. It's the ability for someone to execute it. And I think Hillary Clinton is prepared to execute these plans. She may not have the best plan on this particular topic, whatever that topic may be. You can compare and contrast. But one thing I know is she has the capacity to get it done, from my perspective, in a way that distinguishes her from the rest of the pack. And so I am enthusiastic about my support. I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm not some guy made some deal. Politicians always making deals. It's not about that. I love my little city. I love my job. I signed up for 4 more years. I'm the future ex-mayor of San Francisco. And I care about the city, I care about Democrats, and I care about the future of our party, and I am scared to death about it and the future of our country. And so I just want the best person. I want someone to get things done. I want someone to put us out of business of having to be the only city in the United States doing universal health care. I want to get us out of business of being the only city in the United States doing that preschool and the after-school programs and the arts education that we're doing, all these things that I'm very proud of, but the city shouldn't be forced to do that. And I'm also, and I'll close on this, I care deeply about this, and this is something that blew me away as well. Everybody has talked about the war and getting us out. And, none of us disagree with the need to do that immediately. But I've never had a substantive discussion with any politician about after we're out and what happens to these young men and women when they come back home and their families. It scares the death. You come to San Francisco, what's the #1 issue? Homelessness. Who are the folks out in the streets